Thanks. That's because I forgot to put the sound on. Thank you. Oh, God. Can you hear me okay now? There's quite a lag. I think there's like a 10-second lag. There. Hi. And maybe I'll just go ahead and get started. So, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm trying out this new software that I've really struggled with. And so I thought, well, I'll do a live, and if somebody comes, great, and if somebody doesn't come, even better, because I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, here we go. So today I'm going to do oh, by the way, I'm Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And tonight I'm going to be, oh, let me switch my screen here to my desk. I'm going to be using the Decorative Folders stamp set, and we're going to be creating this card. Isn't that cute? So it's kind of like a spotlight card, and it's also my March swap. So if you're on my March swap list, this is what you're getting. They'll probably go out in the mail. Probably not tomorrow. I've got a lot to do tomorrow, Tuesday probably. But anyway, I hope you like it. So I've got all my pieces are all cut out, ready to go for my swap, and I started stamping some of them already. And so a couple things before I get going is this stamp set is in the January to April 2023 mini catalog on page 47. And I was lucky enough to get this on stage when I went to a Stampin' Up event in Montreal in November. And I've had it all these months and I've still not even used it, and I really like it. So I decided today to kind of dig it out and use this one. And then also, it's still celebration for 2 more days. I think, what's the date today? 26th, yeah. So 27th and 28th is still celebration. And what that means is with every $60 purchase or every $120 purchase, you get to choose free product. So for the first month in January, this was our selection. Now, there are a few things that are sold out, but that's okay. And there's still lots in there. I think the owls are still available, and the carrots, which I didn't think were cute at all, and I actually love them. So the carrots are there. And I see we have someone else join us. If you wouldn't mind just saying hello so that we know who you are. And I believe that the dainty flowers actually sold out this week as well. And I say sold out, not sold out. They're just no longer available because they're free, so they're not sold out. And so there's lots of really pretty things in here. And there's also a second selection that you can find on my website. And Stampin' Up! Has added 10 more items to their freebie list. So there's stamps, which rarely happen, or not stamps, sorry, kits, which I've never seen kits before. And I'm still somewhat of a newbie, so. Oh, hi, Marianne, all the way from Arizona, you lucky thing. It's so cold here. And so these have been added for the month of February. And with a $120 purchase, you can actually get the Eden's Garden bundle, which is a beautiful, beautiful set. So if you are planning to place an order in the next couple of days while celebration is still on, these things are available to you. And then also during celebration, you still have 2 days to think about this, is if you would like one of these little beauties, and I have mine right here. Ta-da! I love this little thing. That is available for 2 more days only if you choose to join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator and join my team, Critters'n Creativity. So in order to get one of these, you would sign up for a demonstratorship. And for $175, you will get $225 worth of product, plus this little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And if blue is not your jam, it's also available in white. And then if you really don't need another little cutter, or your budget just doesn't really allow for that extra little bit of money, you can still choose $225 worth of product and only pay $135. And in Ontario, there's no tax and the shipping is free. So heck of an offer. If this turns your crank at all, give me a quick email at critters'ninc@gmail.com, or you can also hit the contact me button on my website, which is critters'ninc.com. All right, so I got that out of the way. So again, for Marianne, this is the card that we're making using the Decorative Borders stamp set. So let's get started. So to do this card, you're going to need a card base, and I'm using Old Olive, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. And I have a piece of Old Olive that's 5 by 3 3/4, and another piece that is 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. And then in the basic white, I have a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and another piece that's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we're going to take the smaller of the basic white, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus. And I've marked on my grid sheet where I need my page to go so that it's going to stamp in the correct place. So if I line up my cardstock like this, if I need to restamp something and it shifts a little bit, I know exactly where it needs to go. So the grid paper is a great idea. And I'm using under here, I'm actually using the foam insert that comes with it because I'm using photopolymer stamps. And the photopolymer stamps don't have the built-in cushion the way the rubber stamps do. Here's a rubber stamp just to give you an idea. You can see it's got the built-in rubber behind it, and photopolymer doesn't have that. It's just one layer of the photopolymer. So we're going to use the largest floral in the kit, not in the kit, in the set. And I'm just laying it in between this 1-inch mark here. And that way I know that for all of my cards, they're going to all be pretty much the same, which is kind of the idea when you're doing a swap. So that's pretty straight, I think, minus the cat hair. I don't know if you could hear Georgie earlier banging on my door here wanting to get in, but she just jumps right on the counter and all you see is cat bum. So I had to close the door, which she really didn't like at all. All right, so let's put that there. Oops. Not a good idea to have your magnets smashed together. I've actually broken a set that way. All right, so I'm going to take Memento ink and I'm going to ink up my stamp. I hope everybody's well. The weather here has finally taken a turn for the better. And it's still chilly, but it's not brutally cold and it's not storming. I think we might get a little bit of rain this week, but I can live with that. Where there's rain, there's no snow. I'm just going to go over this twice because it's not as dark as I'd like it. There, beautiful. And again, I've gone ahead and done all of my other pieces for my swap. I went ahead and did that while I was waiting. So now I'm just going to give that a quick clean so I don't get ink all over my Stamparatus sheet. And I don't know if I'm just getting persnickety in my old age, but I don't like ink on stuff. It didn't used to bother me, but it really bothers me now. Marianne says, there was snow in the mountains in Tucson last night. It's chilly today. I love Tucson. I love Arizona. My family, we used to go to Arizona all the time to visit a friend. He lived in Scottsdale, and it's such a beautiful little city. Just love it there. Going in the desert. We went camping at Lake Powell one time. Oh, it was amazing. Just amazing. So for my coloring, I'm going to be using Old Olive Light and Dark. And what is this? Tahitian Tide Light and Dark. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Tahitian Tide. And I'm going to use my bullet point. So on the Step and Blends, you'll see that there's a thin line and a thicker line. And the thin line is like a little bullet point, and the thicker one is like a paintbrush kind of a tip. So because the flowers are so little, I'm actually going to use the bullet point. Jan says we're supposed to get weather tomorrow afternoon. Oh, really? Yuck. I'm not ready for that. I'm done. I don't like winter. Not even a little bit. All right. So this is really, I love this color, Tahitian Tide. I'm curious to see what the new colors are going to be. Boho Blue is one, we know that. And we also know that Pretty Peacock, is it Pretty Peacock? Yeah, it's coming back. Is that it? Pretty Peacock? I know it's Peacock something. And that's coming back. So I'm kind of excited about that. I did love that color. It came in, I think, it came and went just as I was becoming a demonstrator. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the dark and just do a little bit of highlighting here. And then I'll come back in with my light just to blend. Beautiful color. I like this. Pretty Peacock. Oh yeah, Lost Lagoon. I'm not familiar with that one. That was before my time. But it's kind of, just looking at it in the pictures, it kind of reminded me of Bermuda Bay a little bit, I think. Am I right or wrong on that one? Okay, and I'm using Old Olive Light and Dark to do the leaves. Am I sticking my head in the camera? No? Okay, good. Kind of a bluer soft succulent. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty setting, Marianne. I love it. I can't believe I haven't dug it out. I think what happens, when you go to an event like that so close to Christmas, you sort of start focusing on Christmas stuff. At least I did. And then the florals just kind of get left in the dust. And then I was saying to Jennifer earlier, all of your comments are coming up double. I don't know if that's anything that I can fix. This is my first time using this streaming software to do it this way. I've used it before, but not this way. Catherine Sanders taught me a different way to do it. And I don't know if it's a setting that I've done or if it's just the way it is. Oh, that's good. Doesn't look double at your end. Well, Georgie gave up. She's not banging on the door anymore. There. So that's it for the coloring. It's pretty basic. And I'm actually using a new microphone. So if you guys could just give me some feedback on that. This is only my first time using it. I just bought it I bought it a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't used it. All right, so I'm going to so this is the Stylish Shapes, and I'm going to be using the third largest square to cut out my spotlight. So I guess it's kind of a spotlight card. And I'm just going to cut out like this flower here. So there's my flower. And I'll put this in here because I'm notorious for losing my dies. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this to the 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 olive oil, old olive, uh, olive oil. Yes, I was going to center that on there, and then I'm going to take my. This is such a simple card. My card base, which is old olive, not olive oil, and this is going to sit here, and this is going to sit like this. So you want to make sure that your orientation is correct so that your leaves match up, which they don't. That's better. I had it right the first time. So you can see how the continuity is there with the mat. The first thing I want to do though is just in case I don't want to glue anything until I get my sentiment on there. So in Splendid Thoughts, there is a stamp called Sending Hugs. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this before oh, that's the inside one, wrong one. Sending Hugs, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this before I glue anything. And it's even straight. Would you look at that? Okay. So I'm just going to put that over here. Should be doing this on a silicone mat. Hi, Susan Sanders. How are you? Thanks for coming. Am I doing this right? I am not doing this right. So my basic white is going to go here. You can tell I'm so preoccupied with the electronics of it all that I forgot what I was doing. So this is going to go on to my old olive is 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white and a 5 by 3 3/4 olive, old olive. So that's going to go like this. Okay, I'm back on track. And that's going to go here. So ladies, we're doing this Thursday, by the way. There, so I've got that centered on there. And then I'm going to center this on top of that. Like this. And I bent this, but that's okay. That's going to go like this. Okay. So we've just gotten, oh, you finally found me. Yeah, if you're on the Facebook page, you have to actually refresh the page, otherwise you can't see it. Which it took me a while to figure that one out, but okay, so this is going to go right on here, and I just want a small little border all the way around. So I want to make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. So Glenn and I have gotten hooked on this show on, is it on Prime? I think it's on Prime, called Death in Paradise. And it's so good. We've been binge watching it. It's really good. It's in a fictitious Caribbean island called Saint Marie. And it's about this detective. He was a little bit different, and it's really good. Whoops, it's not over far enough. And then my neighbor was telling me that she's going to visit her mom in England. I think she's going next week. And I don't know if you've ever seen the show Kate and Koji it's on BritBox, and it's about an English woman who takes over her mother's cafe, and there's a refugee from somewhere in Africa, and they coexist, and it's very, very funny. It's very like such British humor, and it's just hilarious. So if you have BritBox, check that one out. All right, so there's the front of the card. Now for the back of the card, I'm going to take another piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. And on this one, I'm using this corner. Oh, I got lag there. I'm going to use this corner stamp. I need a really big block. Oh, I almost put that on upside down. There we are. And again, I'm going to use Old Olive. So if you're new coming in, say hello so that I know who you are. Say hi to everyone else. So there's that. And then my sentiment for the inside is with comfort and love. And that is from the very best occasions with comfort and love. Oh, hi, Mare. Glad you could make it. So if you don't know, Mary is my sister and she's a demonstrator in Ottawa. And I'm just going to pop that right there. Very simple, but very heartwarming, I think. I just love this. So I'm going to get this out of the way because sure as heck I'll get ink on it. And I'm just going to pop this onto here. And then this is just going to go right in the middle here. And there you have it. I just have one card planned tonight. My whole goal tonight was to try figure out this software, and I think I've nailed it. So anyway, so I just wanted to show you this. Oh, and we have to do the envelope. No naked envelopes, right? So let me grab an envelope here. And I'm going to actually put the same stamp that I just had on the inside of the card, and I'm going to put that right here. So let me go ahead and ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp that right there, right after I stick my finger in it. Beautiful. Excuse me. And then on the back, let me just grab a silicone mat here. On the flap of my envelope, I'm going to take a strip of this, and this is a retired paper, but this is a great way to use up retired papers. Yeah, it is like a sympathy card, Marianne, but it's also my monthly swap. So Susan, just in case you didn't know, this is your swap for March. And I have my silicone mat here because the glue doesn't stick to it. And if you get a little bit of runoff like this will just rub off. See that? It's gone. All right, so I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I'm just going to line it up with this score line. So this is 2 1/4 by 6, and just going to line it right up like that, and then give it a trim. So I've been doing this a lot just to try and use up some of my retired paper that I just have scraps of. Because I think it really finishes off the envelope and it really helps get rid of paper that you hate to throw out or you don't want to donate it or whatever, so you can just use it up. And there's our envelope. Isn't that pretty? And there's our card. Yeah. So thanks for joining me, you guys. So I hope you all have a great evening. And Susan and Jennifer, we'll see you Thursday, I hope, providing the weather doesn't go all snaky like it did last week. And yeah, thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. Have a great trip, Marianne.